All right, everyone. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. Today I have Francesco, the founder of, how do you pronounce it? Is it Excellenza?
Eccellenza.
Excellenza. Okay,
Yes.
Excellenza.io. Is it .io, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Nice, nice, nice. We were together in Spain, and he's been seeing some crazy growth. So I was like, yeah, when we get back to the home and get back to the grind, I'd love to have an interview with you. And here we are. Would you like to tell them a little bit about yourself? You know, where you're from, a little bit about your story, essentially.
Of course, yeah. First of all, appreciate you for having me. Honestly, like it's been it's actually a bit weird, because I remember like last year this month, August, I joined, your program. It's like, oh shit, I'm gonna be on like one of those calls, one day.
Yeah.
So it's actually very weird to be making this. But yeah, I appreciate you for having me. As you said, I'm the founder of Excellenza, one of the co-founders, because me and another person. His name is Paul. Two of us, we run this agency. We basically work, with DTC brands, helping them start and scale their TikTok presence organically and paid. But a bit about myself, I from Italy, but I live in London. I'm based in London, but I'm currently traveling a bit, around Europe, Spain, Italy, back in the UK in a bit. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So currently in Italy, back home, and just been grinding over here after Spain,
Yeah. Where do you think is the best? You've been to many places. If you wanted to live somewhere, where do you think you'd live?
To be fair, like I always thought it was gonna be London, but it's really
Yes.
hard, nowadays. To be fair, like unless you're, I feel like London is like one of those places where you can really enjoy it. Where one you need to be making at least like 30, 40, 50 minimum profit, like actual profit in your pocket, to be living with cool people, hanging out with cool people, because otherwise you're always like home and like not really enjoying the city and what it has to offer. But Spain so far, I really enjoyed Marbella. Like that was insane, and that's why I'm going back to probably going back to Marbella first to Barcelona, as I said before. So I guess Spain. I guess Spain so far has probably been
Spain
because
was
you don't need much, but it has a bit of both. Like people
Yeah.
grinding, making money, living healthy, working out. But at least you can also enjoy, some sun. You can also go to the beach or whatever that is. So I feel like Spain. Not even Italy. I would say Spain.
Yeah, I think London is definitely expensive. Yeah, you need to be making a lot of money, right? You can't try to, live that lifestyle if you're not making bank every month. I've been
Exactly.
there. I've been to the rains. I've been to the Surrey.
Yeah,
It's
you know,
like
you know that. Yeah, you know the
six
deal.
grand to get to get a
Yeah,
table. I'm like, okay,
yeah, it's
like,
crazy.
if you're not making good money, like that bill is going to scare you.
Yeah, but also you can't really get access to again, like people really, really,
Who are
really
getting
like
it.
make it. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't get access to those people. It's really hard. Like they probably like consider you like once or twice, but you don't
yeah,
really get access to that network, and really like
yeah.
get everything that it's got to offer.
Yeah, no, yeah. And I think people who, might be living in other countries, like say Spain, like these entrepreneurs are more open to networking, regardless if they're in the same industry as you, but
Exactly.
because they're in a different city, so like they just want to meet other sharks, right? Cool, awesome. So, let's go back to how did you first find more about me? Did my team outreach to you? Did you see me in the video? What was it?
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit, it was a weird story. It's actually a weird story because I remember like I was starting my agency. I was looking for appointment setters. Everyone was talking about appointment setters. This was like back last year when it wasn't really a thing. Obviously, what I'm talking about appointment setters. So it wasn't really a thing. Everyone like was talking about, doing everything yourself, whatever. But then at some point I was like, okay, cool. I might just hire some appointment setters. And someone, I don't remember his name, introduced me to you on Facebook. I think it was like early January last year.
Yeah.
But then like you were basically trying to sell the program, right? Which wasn't really what
What
I
you
was looking
want?
for. What I was looking for.
Yeah.
We jumped on a call. I don't know if you remember. We jumped on a
Yeah, I
call.
remember now.
Like, okay, you know what? Or whatever. Do
Yeah.
whatever you want. I don't really
Yeah.
care. I was like, oh shit, this guy what the fuck? Yeah, he didn't really try to sell me or nothing like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then like I was watching your content through Cormac, I remember back then, and Rich. These two guys,
Yeah.
they posted a story on IG, and I was like, "Oh, what do you do with Serge?" You know, and they're like, "Oh, we're growing the audience, blah blah blah, all of that stuff."
Mhm.
And I was like, "Okay, cool." It was August then. I was like, "Okay, cool. It's
You
time to
booked
jump
in.
on a
You
call."
booked in another call.
Yeah,
I
yeah, and
remember.
that's
I
when
was
I
like,
yeah,
see now, you can't get away from me, bro.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, it was funny. Yeah, I remember. And I think yeah, that second call, I was like, hey, um yeah, it is a program, but we're gonna help you with your appointment setting. So yeah, okay, yeah, no, I remember the story now. Yeah, it was funny. Cool. Okay, cool. So what offers were you pushing back then?
Bro, it was all over the place. It was a bit of Facebook ads, like landing pages and Facebook ads, combined. And what did I push at some point? Creatives, like it was all over the place. I didn't really have an offer in place, but I would say it was mostly like Facebook ads, just like everyone else back then.
Yeah. And how was the journey with those offers?
Bro, I was again. That's why I say it's a bit weird, to actually be seeing myself on this, because I can't really, fathom, the fact that,
You're here.
um, you know, that I'm here, but I also understand, the game a bit more. It's been a year, I would say, but
Yeah.
it's not enough. It's definitely not enough. But I know that at least, from where I come, like plenty of stuff, has happened. So I would say back then, with multiple offers, like stripping back, to again offering Facebook ads. And I was like, okay, maybe I should offer, email marketing. I was trying a bit of everything. I was, getting a lot of like meetings booked. I don't know if you remember, but like never really closed, more than like, one or two, like max, three clients in a row. That was like max, so it was really hard, like 1 month, I was like, okay, cool. I closed a couple of clients, one client, one client there,
Yeah.
whatever. But then like for 2 months, 3, 4 months, I was like, oh shit, like
Nothing.
I've got
Yeah.
no idea where my next client, is going to come from, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just because, I was pushing what looked, cool from my perspective. But it was stuff, that the market didn't really want, to be honest.
Yeah. And um okay, yeah, I mean, I was going to ask you like, why do you think you're struggling? But you kind of like just mentioned that you were selling something that it's not that, people don't want Facebook ad. It's not that people don't want email marketing. It's just that, it's not the thing that they're looking for, right?
Exactly. Competition was so hard, man. Like again, it was me basically, no one, like little, insect, competing
Yeah.
with like pro agencies, the game, like
Yeah.
making, like delivering, not really making much money, but delivering. It's not really about how much money they make, but delivering like crazy results. So
Yeah.
it was really hard, to stand out. And I was basically like settling, with like clients, low paying clients, headaches, clients with like
Yeah. Yeah.
products that doesn't really work, or like no social proof, just to sort of get that cash in the bank to get results. But that was like even worse, so I guess, yeah, that was pretty much it, because it was literally me competing with like big dogs in the industry
Yeah.
with literally nothing to show for.
Yeah, yeah. And what other solutions had you tried? Because I know that even within the program, you were still pushing these things, and then you're still struggling to scale. What other solutions? What other? Because I think you also did go through other programs, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah. um so when you say solutions, you still mean offers, right?
Like yeah, kind of. But did you try to look for other things? Like, did you try other things within the 6 months that you were still, or did you just keep doing the same thing and just?
I mean, I tried like pretty much everything, for both client acquisition, for both, service delivery. And again, as you said, I was in different programs. I am in different programs, not really active that much anymore. But
Yeah,
yeah, like I tried, going the white label route, right? And I was like, okay, cool, maybe I can, get this case studies. Yes, that works 100%,
yeah,
but it still, came down to the fact that I wasn't really that confident, in what I was offering, just because, again, I don't know if you remember, like, one thing that really stuck with me, when I jumped on the first call with you, actually was probably the first or the second call with you. And I was like, bro, like I'm stuck, like I'm not really motivated, I don't really feel that confident. You're like, bro, because you're not getting paid, so you're not literally getting paid, right? So it's been like so long that you've gone for so long without getting paid that it's hard, to
To
keep
stay
going,
and
put in the
motivated.
reps, put in the reps.
Yeah.
It's really hard, and that really stuck with me. When you said that to me, there was this, this was last year, and I guess that's why again I was struggling. I would pretty much always show up, like pretty much every single day. I think I was even more. I was grinding like really really bad, back then, but without really moving the needle. I think I
Yeah.
was focusing on like stuff that didn't really move the needle.
Yeah.
And it's so crucial. Like you don't see that, in a few days, week, months time frame. But if you look, I don't know,
A
let's
year
say
later.
me looking at my, me last year,
Yeah.
like thinking of all the activities, that I've gone through, like all the stuff that I've gone through, like bro, I promise, like so much wasted, time, so much.
Yeah.
Like
But
it's really hard to realize.
what made you stick to, it's a question that I wanted to ask you. What made you persist? What made you stay locked in when you weren't making really
I
money for months?
think pride, man, pride,
Yeah.
yeah, pride. I mean, people say, like, yeah, whatever, I've got goals, I want to do X, Y, and Z. Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
But trust me, like at least for myself, my goal can be as big as, again, retiring my mom or whatever that is, but if you're not getting paid, it's still very hard. I could have gone to my previous job. I think it was just the fact, that everyone knew what I was doing and what I've been doing, so far.
Yeah.
So it's just me, like, again, maybe most people will say that it's a toxic, trait, whatever.
Yeah.
But pride, like, is what kept me going, because I was like, imagine like people now will know that I went back to my job, because my agency hasn't,
Yeah.
really been producing. It's like, shit,
Yeah.
that's embarrassing, bro. So like,
100%. Yeah.
I would always,
That's
be
a good,
telling people, yeah, it's all good, it's all good. Yeah,
that's a good motivator. Like,
yeah,
pride can definitely be something that drives you to become what you set out to become, right? Because,
yeah,
to me personally, like because, most people don't see this, but for me, like with our program, it's not, we don't sign up so many people that I don't end up not knowing who's joining, right? Like I always keep track of who's joining. And I've always, seen you, like, you show up, like, month after month, no results, but you kept fucking showing up, right? And I was like, fuck, this is fucking good, right? And,
yeah,
to be on this call, man, like, it's fucking amazing. Like, I'm so proud of you. But, a lot of people, of course, pride may also be the thing that kills you, but I think if you can use it to your own advantage and
exactly,
you have it
exactly.
be the thing that gives you no exit,
Yeah,
you're in this path until you fucking win or fucking
yeah,
die.
exactly.
That's also
Again,
fucking
it's not,
right.
I don't think, it's an advice that I will give to everyone,
Yeah.
because as you said, this can literally kill you. But like, for example, myself, like, you asked me before, about London, Spain, and what I like the most. I've lived in London, London for so much time, just because the bills, are so high that, bro, there's no chance like you need to get paid. So for
Yeah.
me, like I wanted to, so basically what I did is, this is crazy. I upgraded, to a more expensive place. I upgraded, to more expensive gym. I upgraded, to a more expensive area, overall, just because I
Yeah.
was like, I need to put myself like against the wall. I've
Yeah.
got bills to pay this month. So in a way or another, bro, I need to make it happen. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care how, like I need to make it happen. So I've
Yeah.
been like hustling, like, doing like multiple things to make this happen, connections that I made, whatever. But just
Mhm.
because I knew, I was like, first of all, my family will never, ever know that I, went back to my job. That will never be the case. And be like, oh shit, whatever, you
Yeah.
ready your little thing, now you're back at like, I don't know, waiting table, whatever that is, waiting
Yeah.
tables. And two, like my bills were high enough that I was like, I
You had
just
to,
need to do this.
you had to
And
make it
even
work.
like if I went back to my job, like, I mean, what's the plan? Like, I go back to my job and like, I don't know, make enough money to pay the bills, and then I've got zero
And
time
then
left,
what? Yeah.
right? So instead now I've got no money, but I've got all of the time in the world,
Make
literally
it
all the
work.
time in the world. I was like,
Yeah.
it's what matters, to be honest.
100%. Yeah. I always tell this to people, especially because we still have, I still talk to people who are still in their 9 to 5 and who are still trying to run an agency on the side. But I'm like, for me, this thinking process that I always use is if someone is paying you for a job, it's because you're more valuable for them than the money they're giving you, right? Now, as a business owner, don't you think that it's a lot wiser to actually allocate yourself to your own dreams, except for someone else's dreams who's
Yeah.
actually paying you to do the thing, right?
Yeah.
That means that like if someone is paying you to do their thing, that means that you are valuable and you can actually create something of more value and create more capital by just doing something else, right? Which you can
Correct.
allocate your attention, your time to your own business, right?
Correct.
But most people think that making money is about getting a job, right? Because that's the only education we've ever had. Most people don't
Yeah.
understand how money actually is, like that money is just is an exchange, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So they're afraid to actually go and venture on their own and actually figure
Yeah.
out something else.
And
But
I was gonna say, like, worst case scenario, I've been thinking about this, like, what can happen unless you've got a family, like literally no other options. I understand, like, full respect. There's nothing I can say there. But in
yeah,
my case, I'm 25. Like, bro, worst case scenario, I'm home right now with my family. I come back to this basically, literally here, right? Still like working or either what I want to do, or maybe I don't know, finding a job back in London. I've got my career, my CV, like in London is crazy. I've got multiple connections in the hospitality industry. So tomorrow, if I wanted to, boom, I can get a job
yeah,
easy. So that's like the worst case scenario. If nothing,
yeah,
literally, if nothing
it
goes
works.
to plan, like if nothing works,
Yeah,
but that's not too bad, like it's literally not too bad. So
it's not the end of the
I
world.
fucking try, like whatever,
Yeah,
like that's pretty much it. So that was like my thinking process. But again, back then I was a bit too naive, so I wasn't really thinking of this. I was just, stuck in the, I gotta do X, Y, and Z, but I wasn't really taking the time to think. Whereas now I'm actually reflecting, a bit more. I'm like, oh shit, it's actually true. Like worst case scenario, pretty much got nothing to lose. Like I
yeah,
haven't really invested, multiple thousands, I invested in money, but like that was money coming from clients, from current clients. But
yeah.
it's not I invested, hundreds of thousands, on my own money, 20, 40, 50K on my own money, that I'm going to lose. Definitely not. So worst case scenario, literally I go back to my previous job or whatever, find another one, or come
Figure
back
out,
home
yeah.
with my family. It's literally it.
Yeah, there's nothing to lose, man. Yeah. So how did everything start picking up? What was the thing? What was the shift? What happened?
So again, this is a weird story because back then, it was just me running the agency, and a good friend of mine, Tal, yeah, you might know him. Basically, he reached out to me saying, "Hey, why don't we do, X, Y, and Z, which is Excellenza now, together? Why don't we try to, push content and TikTok creatives, work with creators, because that was the time when things, were picking up on TikTok,
Yeah.
the e-commerce space." I was like, yeah, cool. Okay, cool, sure. But I was still like, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So I wasn't really all in. And then like what I did is basically I rebranded, Lucido Media, my previous agency, into Excellenza. And, at the end, basically, it's basically now me and Paul
Yeah.
left in this. We had some plans didn't get to work, with Tal, for other reasons, but it was basically me and Paul. I was like, okay, cool, we gotta do this now, or again, I'm back to Lucido Media, you're back to, I don't know, working your with your clients, whatever that is. It's like, yeah, I mean, if you can, it was like, if you can get clients, I was like, I can definitely help you with service delivery. I can definitely help, build a team, whatever that is. So I feel like, having that confidence in, having someone very strong in the e-commerce space, someone with a lot of experience in the e-commerce space and working with like bigger agencies, the way I see Excellenza, for example, being like a few years from now. It's like, okay, cool, I think I can definitely sell more. And because I've never really been an introvert type of guy, so it was just that sort of lack of confidence in either having a team or bringing results.
Yeah.
Whereas now I was like, I've got a team, this guy can definitely deliver, is good. So we started outreaching, same type of outreach, always stuck to pretty much the same type of outreach. But now like on sales calls, everything was different. I was like, oh shit, like people want this. It was a different offer, organic short form content and paid ads as well, but mainly organic short form content. So by leveraging creators, people actually want this. This is something that people want. And it's something that not many agencies are doing right. There are very few agencies that have got the right systems, dialed in, sorry. So it's like, we can definitely do this. We've got a chance, because we're not competing with too many agencies.
Yeah.
Yeah, on sales calls, like you showed, like people wanted it. They were way keener to buy on the first call. I can never close on the first call. Happened a few times, close on the first call, because again, the offer was, wanted by the marketplace. So I guess, to go back to your question was, the offer, changing that to something that people actually want, rather than, being married, to fucking Facebook ads, because, everyone is preaching about Facebook ads. Like, I think, marketers should be sort of like dynamic enough, to be changing offers, to be, I don't know, providing results in a different way on different platforms. So I think was that, and having a team, a strong team, I can actually rely on. Because otherwise, if you're stuck in, service delivery, client acquisition, sales calls, all of that stuff, I don't know, it gets very messy.
Yeah.
It gets messy. You probably could, but it takes so much time, and it's so messy because of all the systems, that require, that you require to scale, I don't know, past 50K.
Are not there.
Right?
Yeah.
So I guess these two things, offer and a team in place.
Cool. And how, so, what I want to know is, I want you to share like the growth that you've seen, right? The biggest amount that you guys have had. I want you to, but also tell them about the timeline, because I think the timeline is actually going to make it even more important for them to understand how important it is to sell something that the market actually wants, right? So tell them how long you tried scaling your agency with the old offers, and how much revenue you guys were able to scale to, in what timeline.
Sure. So the previous offer, I think it was from like 7-8 months without really seeing too much traction. And then the new offer, as soon as we switched, this was back in, I think it was like end of May, beginning of June. Sorry, end of May, second week of May, end of May. 2 months to get less than 2 months to get to 25K. That's the biggest month, that we've had. 25K revenue, with like shitloads of clients. That was both, just because, most people might say, oh, I don't know, you've got all these clients but low revenue. But for us, like, I didn't really want to price it too much, too high, because I was like, okay, let's validate this with a low price point, and then we scale. So that's what we did. I mean, it was still enough for us to make money, to make profit. But 25K, 2 months, July, that was like the biggest month, before Spain, actually. And that was the biggest month.
How did I feel going from months and months of no success to going from 0 to 25K in
I don't know, man. I think it sounds cliche, but I haven't really felt anything. Probably because I was so naive, and this is something that you say, that you preach about a lot. I was so naive, of thinking that I was already gonna get it anyway. I already knew like it was gonna happen. And 25, is still, it's definitely a good stepping stone, but I've got way higher goals. And like 25K in the community, with all of those sharks, like it doesn't really sound like a lot, to be honest. But to me, like, I was like, okay, cool. We validated this. I can do this. If we've sold, 25K worth of services, we can definitely sell, 250K.
Easy.
Because there are agencies that do this. So now that we can do it too, with the right team and systems. So I guess, again, to answer your question, I don't think, I really felt anything in particular, just because, again, for like 1 year, more than like 1 year, I've always known, that I was going to get it in the first place. I've always been talking about this. I've always, been writing about this. So it's like, it's going to happen.
Easy.
So when that happened, I was like, cool. I went on my accounting sheet. I was like, oh, wow, 25K. Paul, we did X, we did 25K this month. I was like, okay, cool. Let's go back to work, So, but again, it's not really, it's high enough, to be confident, even more in like selling.
Yeah.
But as I said, you're still like a little insect, compared to
Yeah,
like
yeah, no, for sure. I mean, for sure, there's still levels, but
yeah,
for me, I think, man, like you gotta enjoy it, man. Like,
100%. Yeah, it's Spain.
like,
That's why it's
yeah, it's Spain. We
that's why I
definitely
went to Spain. I
Yeah,
definitely
that's why you
enjoyed
were in
it. Yeah,
Spain. Yeah,
yeah,
we have the content, but no, man, no. I think like, man, yeah, great job, man. Because I know so many people would have given up.
yeah,
So
100%.
many,
Yeah,
so many, right? And I think it's being nimble, and you stay on the path, but you don't necessarily stick. A lot of people think that, hey, sticking to the script means you're gonna push this offer for a year, and then if you don't succeed, then you keep pushing it. No, 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 no. Entrepreneurs need to be smarter. You need to be bright. You need to be able
yeah,
to observe the game. You need to be able to see where trends are going, right? And if you have access to communities like ours, then we have like a bunch of people seeing the game at the same time. And if I see something like, oh shit,
exactly,
TikTok is killing it, then I'm
exactly.
share it with you guys,
Yeah,
and then
and
you
that's what I
guys
like about the community, to be honest. Which is
yeah,
crazy. That's why I mentioned before that again, 25K in a community like yours, is all right. It's decent. Like definitely, good money, but there are sharks in the community, are killing this. And as you said, because you're, observing the game and the market, and you're
yeah,
able to, share that feedback, boom, fast.
yeah,
You're like, oh shit, like it's pretty hard, not to see that sort of success. If
yeah,
these people
right,
are doing it, like,
yeah, 100%, no, 100%. And for me, it's like, yeah, man, I'm so for me, it's like, it's fucking good to actually now, because now we have a lot of people are killing it in the community, right? And for me, it's like the one thing that I love about our program is that it's much more than just, oh, you guys just pay me for a program, and then I help you guys scale, help you guys build the right offer, the infrastructure for acquisition. But it's more like, yo, let's all start fucking making crazy money, and then let's all go to Spain, and then let's just
exactly,
have a good time, like
exactly.
it's like for me, it's like there's this thing where, let's say for me, like, okay, I'm starting to make a lot of money, but it's like I can't necessarily force my friends to become entrepreneurs, right? But I can help my clients become really successful, and from there I can create my own network. I can create my own
Yeah,
my own relationships with people who can
yeah,
actually, who can maintain the same, um who can try to, have the same lifestyles, because it's hard. When you're making the kind of money we're making, it's a bit hard to find the people to associate with, right?
yeah. They think you're stupid, or like, I don't know, bragging,
Yeah, yeah,
whatever it
yeah.
is.
Or maybe you might want to go to Cirque or Rain, and it's like, okay,
Yeah,
but who's gonna pitch in the bill?
exactly.
Like,
Yeah, exactly,
I can't
exactly.
keep
Yeah,
covering the six
yeah,
thousand dollar bill every weekend. Come on, man.
yeah,
Like, so it's like you gotta, for me, that's what I'm loving about this community, is that it's becoming more and more of like, actual, like, we're creating amazing friendships, right? And yo, man, it's the best thing ever, right? But
100%.
how, one thing that you've really dialed in really well is your client acquisition, your appointment setting. Recently, I see you going crazy with grow teams. Would you like to share a little bit more about the insight of leveraging a growth team?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think that was probably the best decisions I ever made, to be honest, having
Yeah.
actual appointment setters. Because, I worked with PAs in the past, some appointment setters, decent appointment setters. But I think like building a growth team is probably like one of it can be really hard, it can be really tough, especially if you go, if you don't
If you
have too
don't,
much money
if you don't understand how much work it takes, actually.
exactly. Also, yeah, also that like for like, the first 8 to 9 months, maybe even more, I was the one, on LinkedIn. I was the one, sending emails. I was the one on IG. I was the one, again, booking meetings. So I know that, to be fair, it's not too hard, once you really understand, the little
The
nuances, but
systems and the process.
it
Yeah.
still takes time. That's the thing. It takes time and consistency. So for me, like when it came to, building growth teams, like the first ones, they would give up after like a few days, because they
Mhm.
didn't really understand they didn't really understand, that again, it takes consistency, commitment, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Then the second time that I hired, a new growth specialist, that was slightly better. The guys, were the English was way better, first of all. Europe based. So it's really hard. You'll see that for most people, if you're trying to build, a growth team now, you will see that it's very hard to find people based in Europe with a really good English and we're really committed. Like it's really hard. Like it's really, really hard, especially because for me, like back then, I wasn't really, able to pay, more than a commission on cash collected.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much it, which again is fine, but at the same time, like still
You need the volume to be able to.
Exactly. So you need volume, and you need to be a good closer. You need to be, having a good closing rate. Because otherwise, these people are like, what the fuck, we're big meetings, but you're not closing. So what's the point? So for me, that was like probably the thing that that I didn't mention is having a little fee per booked appointment, plus cash, a fee on a little fee on cash collected.
Yeah.
That was way, way better. And that's where I started seeing, be more success. So people would actually, my previous growth specialists would actually stick to my script. They would stick to the process. They will show up every day. Things didn't really, end up working the way I wanted it. But what I did is I kept going, hired some more. I don't know if you saw the new ones. I've got a few sharks on the team now, like insane. But again, these will only come when you
once
actually
you've done the reps.
Exactly. Once you've gone through acquisition yourself and hiring, growth specialists, then you can actually start seeing some sort of patterns of people
How to make it work.
People
how to
committed.
hire.
People there, you already see like the type of guy, who's gonna just make things. This guy, like the new one that I hired, he booked literally 4 meetings, like highly qualified. We're not talking about just any meetings, highly qualified, 4 meetings on the first day. Like literally, I was like, oh shit, that's crazy. And I closed we're about to close one of the clients from him.
That's crazy. And
so,
it's his first week?
His first week, yeah.
That's good.
So basically showing them that first of all, they need to buy into your vision. That was very important for me because, most people say, how the fuck do you have these people so motivated? And I feel like, money is definitely a big thing, but also having a vision where they actually see, oh shit, this guy, is willing to, go above and beyond, to make sure that he actually scales the agency. So this, and also like, the best platform that I used, that really helped me get the best people was IG, just because you've probably been saying this. I post a lot of stories of my growth team.
Starting to have an audience.
Exactly. So like people actually see that we've got sharks on the team. So like, oh shit, I actually want to do this. I've got people, who used to work with me, girls who used to work with me. Oh, I want to do this. How can I do it? Right. Because they see like these people so motivated, so committed. They're like, bro, we've got whales on the line. We've got this, we've got X, Y, and Z, we've got new clients, coming in, whatever. They say this, they're like, oh shit, I want to do it too. So I think it's, first of all, they need to buy into your vision and be as committed, as you are. And then daily calls, like I literally had, daily calls with my previous team that was decent. We had, daily calls Monday to Saturday, every single day, half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour sometimes, every single day, group calls. We just go through, conversations, I don't know, goals, whatever that is. And that really helped, because a lot of these people are like, oh, I used to work with other agencies. They will literally just hand me the scripts, the processes, and that's pretty much it. They will go literally MIA, right?
Yeah.
And I know a lot of these agencies who do this. So I think that's really hard, if you think, you hire, sorry.
I think some people who are even trying to build growth teams right now are still doing that, right? They're trying to skip
100%.
and they're trying to skip the refinement of the process of getting in the trenches with your growth team. A lot of people don't understand this, but even I myself, when I built my first growth team, I mean, oh my God, bro, I've had to go through probably like 30, 40 people. Right.
Yeah. And yours
like
are
it, I'm starting now to give them a base, like $1,000 base plus like $100 per meeting that is qualified, that shows up, right? It's good money, right? But like even then, like you still need to like actually one decision that I've made in the starting next week or starting today is I'm actually going back to doing my own growth team calls and actually just hyping them up because it takes a lot of energy to keep people on the same path, right? you probably know it yourself, but like even you trying to start your own business, trying to make yourself successful, it's already fucking hard to try to keep yourself
Yeah,
disciplined,
100%. Like
right?
you're literally your biggest enemy.
Right.
Yourself is literally your biggest enemy.
Now
100%.
imagine having to manage five
Yeah,
people who are on commission, who are not even getting paid, and getting them
exactly.
to do the thing that you want them to do to
Exactly.
see the success, right? It's like
Yeah.
it takes a lot of like attention, it takes a lot of energy, right? Now, a lot of people who lack a vision, who lack a mission, who lack a bigger purpose than just, hey, I want to make money so I can have a cool lifestyle. Like if your goal is to have a lifestyle business, no growth team, no growth specialist will ever work for you.
Yeah, you don't even need one. Like it's
Like
pointless.
I
Yeah,
mean, it's like what the hell, bro? Like I'm not gonna come sacrifice my life to get you
yeah,
meetings so you can go buy a Mercedes or an AMG
exactly.
or a Ferrari. No, fuck that, right? Like people want to be part of something where they become bigger, better, and they also achieve their dreams within the vehicle that you have. So before you hire any growth specialists, guys, make it clear that you actually want to have an impact, that it's just bigger than money, right? You have something to prove, right?
But also,
And
see yourself as a company, like an actual company, if that's again what you want to do. Because
yeah,
I think you mentioned this on one of the last calls. Like, if you want to build a lifestyle business, then honestly, don't even bother, to be honest, because do it. Have a few clients, whatever. I mean, make some money, but don't even try to show up on like social media, because again, you got, for example, people like yourself or people want to build massive companies. They're gonna
yeah,
kill you, bro. Like it's literally not. You mentioned it. Like I'll get all of your clients.
yeah,
Like there's literally no
yeah,
chance you'll win with me, and that's so true. Like I was thinking about this. Um, for us, like I see myself. I mean, not myself. I see the agency as a massive firm. There are a few agencies in the space that I really look up to, like massive, like hundreds of employees, hundreds of clients. And
yeah,
that's how I see, Excellenza in a few years. So it's not really, I'm not making too much profit this month, whatever.
no, yeah,
I don't
that's
want to have a growth theme. I don't want to pay my team or whatever, because I want to, keep more money for myself.
yeah,
Cool, it's fine. Fuck it. Might not make too much money for myself this month because I'm investing in systems, I'm investing in people. But then like
mm,
watching it, a year from now, like it's gonna be insane,
yeah,
right? So
yeah,
I guess that's pretty much what you've done. So
yeah.
um, yeah, very
And
very important. Yeah, very important that
yeah,
you
and
have a
yeah, I want to
vision.
go back to the systems thing you just mentioned, but for me, that's also another thing that, for anyone who would be, down the line interested in joining the program, I want to make it clear that like, guys, like our program is not, it's not a walk in the park. Like you don't join in and be like, okay, yeah, you're gonna send we're gonna get you on Twitter, you're gonna do 2 steps and
Yeah,
then this and that. No, it's like it's a lot of work. And for
yeah,
me, I genuinely would not invite anyone in the program if you're not willing to build an actual company,
yeah,
right? If your goal is to just build a lifestyle business, get a Rolex, go to Dubai and take a few pictures in your condo, then maybe go find other service providers out
yeah.
there. But we're out here to build companies, man. We need teams. We need sharks. We need 100 growth specialists. We
I
need
mean,
a
to be
whole
fair, like your
marketing
price
team.
point shows.
Yeah,
I think you have to, it's got to be
yeah,
mentioned. I think your price point shows, because if you're not building a lifestyle business, I don't think I will pay, that much money to get a few
John.
clients, because you don't
Yeah,
really need too much. You need a few clients. There are, service providers with programs in like, they're
yeah. You
cheap.
can you
They're
can even
very,
get a
very
VA.
cheap.
Yeah,
Easy. They're cheap, so I think, your price point shows that again, you just want people. And that's why I haven't really seen too many communities, with that many people like fucking killing it. Like, and it's not like, you see them on Discord, posting messages, whatever, or screenshots. Like I've seen them, in real life. All of the, most of the people who are killing it on in your community, I've seen, I met them in Spain, right?
yeah.
Or there are a few, there are sort of
Are
like
out
we
there.
made friends, and like, we talk every single day. So I know the
I know.
stuff, they go through. I know every
Yeah,
single action, they take, bro. These are like sharks, like for real. So yeah, I think, your price point, I would say, like, it's probably not something that,
yeah,
people
that
would
you're
just,
gonna pay, and that's what
yeah,
I like too. It's like because I could make it cheaper, a million times
yeah,
over. I
100,
could make it
yeah,
so cheap,
easy, and
but it's
you'll
like
kill
no,
it.
I
Yeah,
don't want to. I don't. I
yeah,
don't want. I don't want to deal with with someone who's paying a few $1,000
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
complaining that they have to do 300 outreach, 500 outreach a day.
Exactly.
I'm like, cool, then, here's your money, right? So I'd rather keep it more exclusive to people who are actually more, who are willing to die behind their goals, man. Like if you're not like Francesco and you're willing to go 8 months without signing any client and still fucking stick to the grind, then this is not for you. Because business, a lot of people don't understand this. And I actually just saw this the other day, but hard work does not entitle you to success. Just because you're doing the hard work, it does not mean you deserve fucking results. That's what most people don't understand. And when we're pushing these Facebook, email offers and everything under the sun, just because you are doing hundreds of outreach a day or thousands of outreach a month does not mean you deserve to get any clients, right?
Exactly.
But most people don't understand this.
Yeah, they think, I mean, even me, like I was so naive, I was like, okay, I'll start an agency, whatever agency, quote unquote. It's not really an agency. It was literally just me and a few VAs, maybe. Like, bro, why would someone literally give you money on a call just because, you've got them on a call? Like, just because, I don't know, you've done, I don't know, a few hours of outreach. What the fuck? Like, bro, you're literally competing with agencies that are really, really big, and like it's impossible, to get those type of results because they've got people, they've got talents, it's an actual business. Like I don't think it's something that you should expect within a few months to get to, I don't know, 50K, bro. What the hell? Like,
and being someone who's spent, and I'm gonna say this to every agency owner out there or anyone who's currently running a business, I've spent in the last 3 months, I've lost over $30,000 testing agency owners, like actually agencies, because I want to actually start launching ads. I've lost over 30 G's. I've literally went through the experience that we hear about of, these brands and these companies getting fucked. But I've literally went to 30 fucking grand as in loss. And one thing I've realized is that I'll never work with a one-man show. I don't give a F how good you think you are. A one-man team does not work, especially as an agency owner. I mean, technically you're a freelancer, and to me, if you're watching this video and you're a media buyer, you're a consultant, you're someone who does something really well, so well that you think that you're the only one who can do it, I will never do business with you at all. That's one. Because for me, what it shows me is that you're so thinking small and you're so like lost in your own like little ego that you think that you're so good to beat a team. It does not work, right? So I've tried people who are one-man shows who who are doing things you need, because when you're working with a company, an actual company that's pumping a lot of money, I don't have time to just deal with you. I need people helping me with a lot of things, right? And then the second thing also, which is pretty funny, the bigger agencies are not necessarily better, right? I spent so much money with agencies who had big teams. They seemed proper, they seemed amazing, but the actual quality of the deliverables, bro, I was like, what is this? Right? So for me, it's like, like I'm literally becoming the type of client who's like, yeah, I'm not going to pay you until I see results. Right? Because I just lost 30 grand, man. We could have went to Spain and rented that villa for 30 grand, bro.
100%.
So 100%. So it's like, guys, like, please dial in your infrastructure, become the best that you can be, build a team, show expertise, show that you're actually building a company, right? Because your clients deserve it, right? I'm not going to pay you 10 G's a month and you just deliver me some bullshit work. Like, no, you need to step up your game, guys, right? It's not just enough to be a TikTok agency or to be a Facebook ad expert. No. You need a lot more, right? So you mentioned something about systems, and we've recently, helped you. Have we actually finished building the systems, or are we still refining some stuff?
No, I think we're done. For like a few tweaks, but yeah, we're done.
Yeah. How has it been having, the whole thing built out, your sales process,
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Because I thought when I first saw the loom from Bell, it's like maybe I was like, Paul, maybe we could do this internally. We
Yeah.
could probably do it for sure. But bro, the amount of time that it
Yeah.
takes, the amount of mistakes that I would have gone through, like, so I was like, you know what, the price that I'm paying is literally nothing, compared to like what I'm gonna get, the time that
Yeah.
I'm gonna save, in
Yeah.
the way that it looks, in front of like potential clients, actual clients. So yeah, that was really good. Because everyone preached about systems. I don't think they've got an idea of what
What?
actual systems are.
Yeah.
To be fair, they think that you've got a few SOPs for outreach. These are
Yeah.
systems, not really like.
No.
And I think for us, when we started scaling, pretty fast, like I was like, oh shit, like it's really hard, to
It's a lot
get
of
too many
moving
clients.
parts, right?
It's a lot of moving parts, especially if you run just to highlight this, especially if you run an agency that provides content as well as your main offer, bro. So many
Me.
moving parts, so
Yeah.
many. So it's really hard. We basically onboarded like July. We onboarded probably like 12 clients, like
Gee,
12, 13 clients at once. I was like, oh shit, bro, this is a lot. Like
a
never done
lot.
this. I don't
Yeah.
think we're ready. And obviously, showed. But then, by the time it's like, okay, cool, we need to refine this, we need to refine that. We need systems for X, Y, and Z. So you've got a better understanding now what you need to be
Yeah.
fix. But at least now, like service delivery, I don't think I'm too involved. To be honest, it's just running smoothly. Don't really do much, in that sort of things.
Hmm.
Client acquisition, getting there. As soon as I train my appointment setters, it's just like a matter of like giving them the type of clients we want to work with, that sort of stuff. But then the systems are there, like they click a button, they literally get the potential client, gets taken into like a bunch of funnels, go
Yeah.
through a bunch of like, subtasks, all of that stuff. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
So everything is, in our pipeline, everything is there in our database. We've got again an actual CRM finally.
Yeah.
Never really, used a CRM before. As soon as a client gets onboarded, there's an actual checkout page, which is sick. Looks very professional.
Yeah.
There's bunch of like subtasks as soon as the client gets on board. The team already knows what to do. We've got a bunch of information from the client already, so it's crazy. Like
Yeah.
time, honestly, the time saved, and I mentioned this before, is crazy. Like for like 12 to 14 hours a week minimum. And again, the money that I spent is probably nothing, to
Nothing. It's
what we
not
saved and
to what
to what we have
to,
in place.
to what it would actually costed you to not have these systems in place.
I mean,
Because
we would have lost clients.
you would not even have been able to
Yeah,
onboard more or scale, right?
exactly,
Because
exactly.
yeah.
No, I was gonna say, because I mean, if you hire, for us now, we hire the closer now.
Yeah.
So again, just so have a closer on board, like imagine someone who actually takes sales calls for you, and someone who goes through the actions that you take, before a sales call, on a sales call, after a sales call, bro. That's already a bunch of stuff, like a bunch of stuff. So, like to already have this guy in place with everything outlined properly for him, he literally just needs to take sales calls,
And then
push one
invoice
button for the invoice. That's literally it.
and
Like
everything
that's
is taken
literally it.
care
He's
of.
got
Yeah.
everything he needs. So I'm like, oh shit, like, we can easily onboard, 12, 14, 15, up to like 20 clients, easy, because we've got the team, because we've got the systems, because again, we've got the processes, easy 20 clients per month can be onboarded.
Yeah.
Whereas before I was like, everyone can say, yeah, I can onboard that many clients, but then go do that. And
Yeah.
you'll see that next month you lose them. Easy.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people just think that onboarding should look like, an onboarding video. Hey, here's how 90 days will look like. Sign this and then, okay, we'll chat. No. You need so much more, man. You need so much. You need sequences running every other day to keep your clients accountable, to remind them, especially with the short form offers. You're not necessarily doing it within the B2B space where you actually have to get content from your clients first, but a lot of the people who are, let's say, in the B2B space who are doing short form content, one of the biggest hurdles that they'll meet is that clients will not be sending them anything.
Exactly.
But
100%. And we experienced this as well. Yeah.
right. But like you need systems to like
Yeah.
make it inevitable for clients to forget to send you the thing,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So like for me, if I was, we're trying to build a fulfillment thing for short form, but it's like, we're going to literally build a whole structure where like, bro, the person does not go to bed before they deliver what we need from them, right? But you can't have an employee message people, like that's going to be annoying. They
Yeah,
literally fire you, right? But
yeah,
system, you can systematize everything, right? And make it a effortless for someone to share the thing, the assets that you need, right? But
yeah.
yeah, man, anyone doing, I'd say even more than 15K a month and looking to scale past 50K, 6 figures a month and more, like your issue is not acquisition. Your issue becomes fulfillment, onboarding, making sure all your systems are dialed in. Because if you don't have systems, it doesn't mean that you can't necessarily get clients, but it just means that you're almost guaranteed that these people will quit after the first 30 days if you don't actually offer them a thorough process that they have to go through. Because once, one thing I've realized is even if you're not able to deliver results in the first 30 days, just the experience that the customer goes through, the
Yeah,
client goes through when they're starting your service helps them stay. But if you have
100%,
no
100%.
process, if it's just hey, this is the channel we communicate, here is you're going to speak with this guy, he's going to
Yeah.
help you, we're going to have a meeting tomorrow. If those are manual tasks and shit like that, yeah, no, that's not a business.
I had a sales call once with, I mean, it was not too long ago, an actual client now. We
Yeah,
ended up, onboarding him. And the guy, like, the guy is really well known in the space. He's got like pretty, well-known brand, and he's crazy obsessed with systems, right? So he's got basically this like this sort of like picture, on his wall, like
yeah,
an ecosystem. And the first thing, I noticed when I jumped on the first sales call with him, I was like, oh shit, I'll actually like that, and I'll show you why, right? So basically I showed him every single system that we have, for service delivery for clients.
yeah,
It's like, what the actual fact, like I've never seen something like this. Like this is definitely not something that you would expect, from, one of the typical agency owners,
yeah,
whatever wannabes that you jump on a call with on a daily
yeah,
basis. And we ended up, selling it. We ended up, onboarding him just because he was first and foremost, was like, oh shit, these
excited
are
to see
actual,
what you guys built. Yeah,
systems, that I'm gonna go through. This is an actual company. It was like, it sounds like, I've got a lot of mouth, to feed, mouth,
yeah,
to feed, and it sounds like this is pretty expensive. But I love it. It was like, I fucking love it. So I
yeah,
think, yeah, that really made an impact on, again, the way you
yeah.
present yourself and the company on sales calls.
I think you should make a video about your systems, by the way, on YouTube, and just make a piece of
Yeah,
content, or maybe make it. Maybe you don't need to put it on YouTube, but maybe send it to your prospects who haven't yet
yeah,
bought,
yeah,
right? Because that will just, it could be the thing. Maybe there's more people actually care about the back end more than just your sales pitch, right? If they
yeah,
see that you have a formal structure of onboarding, delivery, all that good stuff.
yeah. At least bigger brands, yeah, that definitely do. That definitely
Yeah. So yeah, I think it would be really good. But yeah, I want to go through all the, because now we've probably built systems for a lot of people. I think almost everyone who's doing
do.
15, 20K a month in the
Mm.
program is jumping on the system stuff. I would love to. I'm gonna do like a review of everything we've built for everyone and make a banger out of it down the line.
You
Because I
should,
think
you
it's,
should.
it's crucial, man. It's crucial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, everyone preaches about systems, but I don't think they actually understand
They don't
what's
know. They don't
required,
know what's,
when it
what it
comes to
is.
onboarding a bunch of clients. I
Yeah.
promise, it's a headache. It's a massive headache.
Pain, man, it's pain. I even feel it myself whenever I'm launching new
Yeah.
service, and it's pain, man. It's the pain of business, but I like it because I know that it's part of growth. Yeah. All right, cool. So let's wrap this bad boy up. One thing that I like to ask people is what advice would you have given to I guess the younger you or the Francesco from 2021 when you first got in the game?
I mean, I'm not really gonna say stick to it, because I mean that's like pretty like normal.
Basic.
You just, yeah, it's pretty basic, but you definitely need to stick to it. But I
Mm.
think like invest, like don't be scared, to invest in people and infrastructures like way earlier in the game, especially people. Because I mean, if you want to, I tried, to do everything myself before. You can, yes, but there's nothing better than having, good talents who actually bring up, ideas. So I think, if you've got, obviously, this is probably like not too relatable for people who don't really have too much capital. I didn't really have too much capital either, back then. But in that case, I mean, I don't know. I would still find a way to get capital and then invest into, again, either a community where you can actually partner up with people and get actual insights on what running an agency looks like, rather than all newbies. They don't know what running an agency looks like. They don't know what systems are like. They don't know what client acquisition is like, whatever, all that stuff. That's really hard. If you do that, everyone tells you, yeah, you got to do X, Y, and Z, but you need actual advice of people in the trenches. So I would say probably, again, still I would say invest in people and systems way earlier in the game, and take this as seriously as possible, because again, you can't compete with people out there literally in the trenches 24/7. And when I started, I thought I was serious. Yes, I was at some point, but still I was like, it's just me, whatever. I don't think I can go past, I don't know, X per month, for example. But I would say just shoot for the moon, invest in those systems that get you to that. Let's say, for example, you told me this again on a call back then, I don't know, a few months ago, last year actually. If your goal, I don't know, is like 10K, make it 100K, for example, 70, 100K. Like now, what's really needed to get there? People, systems, infrastructures, 10x your outreach. And I think that's actually what got us to scale that fast, because it's not like I onboarded one growth specialist or two. It was like 8 at some point. So worst case scenario, 6 of them are gonna leave, but still
have the
you basically get the actions that you would take to scale from, I don't know, 25, for example, that I'm at now, to 100. Right now it's pretty much the same, right? 10x the actions, same stuff. So I would say, if you're just starting out, obviously understand what you're really selling, to be able to get sales calls, and to be giving actual insights on sales calls. Understand what you're selling, and invest like 10x every single action that you would take yourself, by yourself. 10x it. If that takes you to go look for, I don't know, appointment setters, more people in the service delivery side of things, do it. I promise you, like, the more we start hiring, the more we start investing, the more money we made. So I will just go that route again, but then I will probably do everything that I did like from last year. So show up pretty much every day. Content, I was really big on content before, and that's what gave me like a lot of social proof as well. Where it's now stopped a bit, but I'm going back to it because the value is crazy. So I would say, just to wrap this up very quick, invest in people and systems. 10x every single action that you would take, that you would take yourself, by yourself, and allocate people, systems, infrastructures, delegate as much as possible. And then content, like focus a lot on content, crazy, LinkedIn, Twitter, crazy, insane. And I mean, stick to it, like literally stick to it. That's
100%. Yeah, man, a lot of people don't understand this, but like, if you look at 100K, even 100K a week business, like that business has an infrastructure that produces that 100K a week, right? But most people don't see it. They just see it as like, oh, I want to get to 100K a month, and then wishful thinking, and then just think that it's going to happen just because they aim for it. No.
Yeah,
you need a team.
100%.
You need teams of different departments in a company to actually create that kind of revenue, right? Most people come up with this mindset of like, hey, I'll go into a course and then I'll build a lifestyle business, and then eventually I'll scale to 100K a month. But it's like, that's not the right way to think about it. You have to reverse engineering. Look at, hey, instead of worrying about the revenue, worry about what is the thing that produces 100K a month business or revenue, right?
But I feel like there's too much misinformation out there. So it's really hard for people that are just starting out to understand who they need to follow, who they need to listen to. So I don't know, most people say, if you want to get to 10K, listen to someone who's making 10K, but that's probably bullshit, because like, again, I don't know, it's hard, to be in the trenches, and
also
only someone who's in the trenches, can actually give you crazy advice. Just like, you told me, I think, you said once, you don't want your company to be centralized, through yourself, in this case, through one single person. So imagine, if it was just you, like everything, runs through you.
It wouldn't work. I wouldn't be able to help anyone, right? But I think the mistake that most people don't understand is that I don't necessarily think that to make 100K a month, you need, like, it's not just one path to making 100K a month, but if you're starting a service business, then you need to understand that, like, how an influencer got to 100K a month is not what's going to get you to 100K a month, right? If that influencer already has an audience, well, all he has to do is just sell, 10 people at 10K and they make 100K a month, right? But you don't have any audience. So you can't follow his advice because
Exactly.
he's gonna make
Exactly.
millions regardless. Like, you don't have shit. So you can't,
Yeah.
you don't play the same game that he's playing. I know people who might be making more money than me, but I'm doing a lot more work for the money that I'm making, but they're not doing anything. So I'm not going to go ask them for advice because that's the wrong advice. I'm not
Exactly.
famous, right? So it's like, but it also applies the same to people who are at 10K, 20K, 30K a month. Like, pick your mentors cautiously. Like, please be
Yeah.
careful who you actually pay attention to.
And I think something else I wanted to mention is like that I really, really like about the program and yourself and the team is that you actually give, stuff that you use personally. So I was like, no one else, I don't think, there's, I mean, at least from like people that I've programs, that I've gone through, people that I know in the space, I don't think there's too many people who actually give you the exact stuff, that they use internally in the trenches every single day. Whereas, I literally go if I go back to go high level, the initial systems I was building, with Bell, it was literally your templates, or like stuff that you use, and that I know also that is true because I've been part of the team for a bit. I've seen your infrastructures. Like literally right now, it's the exact same thing
right?
that you have. So I was like,
Yeah.
it's pretty like unreasonable for me, to get to
Not
again
to
100K,
scale.
whatever that is, 200K per month.
Yeah.
Because you've been using it.
Because I'm used, yeah, because I'm,
Exactly.
'cause, most people don't understand this, but like, the
Exactly.
shit I'm teaching is what I'm using. Like, I'm not like, I don't have a mind or a thinking mind that thinks
Yeah.
about, oh, this is what I give to my clients, and then this is my little secret shit. No, bro,
Yeah.
I'm in the trenches just like everyone. I have a growth team. I have sales I have all these systems that you just, got within your agency. Like, it's the same shit.
Yeah.
And if I've scaled it to where I've scaled it to, then you can, if you follow the same path, you're gonna get there too. It's just a choice to get there or not,
Exactly.
right? But yeah, I mean, my last question was, actually, I'll just ask it to you. Is, what would you rate the done for you $500,000 systems implementation program, or the $500,000 program, on a scale of 1 to 10?
I would say again, people might say whatever, you're in the program, you're in a interview call,
You're in
let's say
Spain
10.
drinking
You're
tequila
in
with
Spain,
Serge.
but to be fair, like, and honestly, I wish I could show my screen right now and literally go through everything that I've got, from you guys. Bell, for example, for the systems implementation, sick stuff. Like, again, I've got people, and I know a lot of agency owners in the space that literally come to me and be like, what the fuck? Like, I've never seen something like this. Like, the amount of systems that you have is crazy for both, service delivery, sales. Like, they're like, I want your growth. I want your growth team. I want you to build a growth team for me, right? Again, because I've gone through the stuff that you've got in the program. So it's not just like, I came up with that stuff myself. A lot of it, I would say 90% of it comes from your program, and obviously not tweaking it to my own needs, and goals. So I think 10, and again, it might sound cliche, but I wish I could show my screen and literally go through everything that I've got, for you guys. Probably the only program that I actually, show up to you like for the daily calls.
Still, a year
Literally,
later.
like, it's been a year. I still show up, to the daily calls. I still show up to the sales call with Hassan. Like, the sales calls, for example, with Hassan. Tell me another program that does that.
Sales training.
That exactly. That gives you there closer to train the clients, or to train you guys on a sales call, give you actual insights. Like, I closed most of my clients because, again, the insights that you gave me and the insights that Hassan gave me, because it's stuff that you guys use. Like, I literally, I've got probably like a mini version of client acquisition to be fair, so far at this stage. I mean, people can probably see if they're in the program, if they go through my systems, they can probably see that, again, it's a mini version of client acquisition. Cater to, e-commerce, whatever might offer my stuff. literally doing everything that you're doing. Grow team, systems integrator, finding a bell, for example, got a
Yeah.
closer, so got a mini Assan, right?
Yeah.
I got someone who can actually take care of the fulfillment. So
Yeah.
I would say 10 out of 10,
Yeah.
because the amount of like information that I go in a short time frame. I mean, people might think that a year is so much time. It's
Yeah.
really not too much time. It's probably nothing. But the amount of information, the amount of like systems, and the amount of money that I've been able to make through this is crazy. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
again, I'm not active in any communities. So I'm active on Discord, your Discord pretty much every day, and that shows, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Difference.
I mean, it shows. Yeah. Because, you wouldn't be engaging in something that isn't valuable, right? A year later. But, yeah, man, no, I appreciate it. And, for me, it's like, I'm just gonna let time tell what we've built, because I think most people I see a lot of gurus online. I mean, I don't read, to be honest, I don't even hate the word guru anymore. I hope I can become a guru one day, but I see them preaching about their services and things like that. But for me, like, from the amount of work and the stress that I have to go through every day to try to build what we've built, like, I genuinely know that, like, no one
And I
has
was gonna say, like, you
built.
can only see that it's bullshit once you've actually gone through the work. Because if you, for example, like, again, for me, 25K before, I was like, oh shit, that's a lot of money. I can only do X, Y. I mean, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z that this guru says. Let's say I get to 25K, but once you actually get to 25K, you'll see that most of like the information out there is bullshit, because it literally doesn't apply to anything, unless you're building a lifestyle business, a few clients, whatever. That's not what I want. So yeah, you're right. I think, I mean, time is probably the only thing on your side that is actually going to help you getting bigger, because as you said, maybe having a bigger audience might help, but
Yeah.
at the same time, like, hard work will always pay off, to be honest.
Yeah.
And for people, again, that are just starting out, not really making too much money, they're like, oh, whatever, yeah, I need to do X, Y, and Z, but they still can't really realize that what you have is literally what's needed.
Yeah.
And what I've done personally myself, and what other guys have done in the community, until they actually get to the point, we're like, oh shit, these other gurus, I don't know, this information out there is
Yeah.
literally bullshit.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like, you don't
It's
know
literally
what,
bullshit.
yeah, you don't know what, you don't know that,
Exactly.
that they're not telling you the right thing, because you don't know any better, right?
Exactly.
But no, we'll let me spend a few six figures on that. We'll make a name for ourselves, and then
Yeah.
we'll grow. No, but yeah, man, I mean, I've made the commitment to, right now we're including also like done for your emails. It's like, also we're changing that up, but I don't want to talk too much about that. But yeah, I want to, bro, I genuinely want to make it so that you pay an invoice, every single acquisition channel is taken care of. If you have a shitty offer, hey man, we're going to ask you, hey, please stop selling this stupid shit. Sell this thing instead. It's proven to work, and help you with systems, help you fucking scale with clients, potentially have a bunch of systems integrators lined up, fully trained to put in your company.
That should be a thing. Yeah, actually, I was gonna say you should do that, bro.
Yeah, I can't do everything at the same time, bro. I'm not a
You're getting
superhero,
closer.
bro.
You're getting
It's a
closer.
lot of work.
Yeah.
But I want to generally be like, here's a business infrastructure on a platter, right? And I don't necessarily plan on increasing the price. Maybe if we start moving upstream, but for now, I genuinely still want to help people who, because to be honest, like, our program should not be being sold to people who are starting out. And I did make a decision that I didn't necessarily want to sign people who haven't made a sale before, because I can't make you,
it's too much stuff.
Yeah, it's too much. It's too much education that has to go on. I just want people who, have faced a little bit of pain and they're tired of bullshit.
Yeah.
Hey, come in.
That's true.
Get to work, right? Yeah. All right. But I generally want to still help, people just like you who are, who have said that, hey, I want this, and just come for the ride, bro. Like, let me show you, let's build this shit out for you, and then just don't give up. Just don't give up on us, and then we'll never give up on you, right? But yeah, man, this interview hopefully was beneficial. I mean, Francesco, maybe you're where he's at right now, or maybe you were where he's at, where he was at a few months ago, but he tried to go through the same path that we did. I also wanted to start an advertising agency in the beginning, had a hard time scaling, starting appointment setting agency, blah, 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 where started seeing success. He started with Facebook ad and a bunch of other offers, didn't see success for 7-8 months. But guess what? He did not quit because he knew what he wanted, and his past life wasn't what he wanted to settle for. So why go back to something you don't want to settle for?
Mm.
Stupid, right?
Yeah.
And now he's here. And I generally think most people don't understand this, but once you've hit your 25K a month, your 100K a month is like, if you want,
Yeah.
it depends on how fast you want to grow,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
for 4 months tops, if you want
I
to
mean,
get,
agencies, there are plenty of agencies who've done that. Most people might
right?
say that in e-commerce is hard, but it's not true. Like a lot of agencies have done that. And like there's a lot of agencies, that make 3-4 millions. And again, my co-founder has worked like in a lot of agencies that make 3-4 millions. So
Mhm.
we know that it's possible. That's the way we see at Chalenza.
Yeah,
But yeah, you're right. I think it's just a matter of like how fast you want to grow, because
yeah.
it's good to see the numbers, but it's a
But
headache. It's
yeah,
fucking
yeah, no. I mean, to be
already
honest,
my
for
yeah.
me, I wouldn't suggest you try to scale the fastest. Even I myself, like I've actually slowed down a little bit because I actually want to, like, it's, man, like, I think most people don't understand this, but like growing fast actually ends up hurting you, man. Like it ends up burning you.
Mm,
It ends up burning the market, ends up burning your clients,
yeah.
your image
Yeah.
and your brand. So for me, it's just steady growth, man, right? Grow 25% every month, maybe 30%, right? But sustain that, right? Instead of trying to be like, oh, I want to double revenue. We've doubled
Yeah.
revenue. But it's like, it's not necessarily the thing that I look up to the most. It's like, I want to be able to know who each customer is, each client is,
Exactly.
I want to be able to have a relationship. I want to be able um, to give them that personal feedback, right? But
Actually, I was gonna ask, and maybe we can wrap this up afterwards.
yeah,
Like, what's the goal with client acquisition? Because I mean, now that I think about it, the service, the principles are pretty much the same. The service is a bit different. The offer is a bit different. But like, what's the goal? With client acquisition, once as you said, maybe you might exhaust the market at some point.
yeah.
So like, what's the goal? I don't know. Maybe in the next, I don't know, year, for example.
I think for a year, I think so. Okay, so this is how I see it. I see client acquisition.io being the company. So right now, I want to stick to helping people scale, right? So agency owners like you who, wanted to start the business and then maybe are starting to make money, but they don't see that fast growth. They're like, hey, I need infrastructure to actually now scale things. I don't want to do things in a unpredictable
Mm,
manner. I want to actually get the right infrastructure.
mm,
I want to stick to this little niche, maybe
mm,
till I get to $250,000, $500,000 a month, right? Then I
mm,
want to stay there. And then I want to build verticals to solve each little issue separately, right? So as an example, we've started technically doing it with systems integrate, with building systems, sales process, onboarding, things that we've built for you. That's going to be its own vertical, right? And then we're probably going to have, appointment setters placed in your
mm.
company without you having to be in the program. That's going to be another vertical. So I'm going to have a bunch of little verticals, right? Maybe 5 of them, not more. And then I'm going to have the main program if you want a much thorough experience, a much better personalized thing and everything included at once. Or you can just come and do business with us with just one thing. But I also want to help people get in the fucking game, right? So what I plan on doing, right? I don't know yet, but I think I would love to start an online business course.
Bro, I think you can make so much money with that. Like if it's not priced, I don't, I'm sure it won't, but
Yeah,
you can make so much money, like
I
so
know.
much money.
I know. So that's why I'm delaying it because I want to do it down the line when I actually
Yeah,
have an audience, right? A
yeah,
bigger one. But yeah, I
yeah,
think I can touch an M a month pretty easy.
yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But then check this out. Then I'll have, I'll give away everything. Now, the way that my course will be built is I'm gonna put like a record of all the offers that I've ever seen work, right? And then it's gonna be like a self-serve type of thing. Instead of being like, oh, start a Facebook ad agency, I'm gonna be like, fuck that, because that's not what I'm about. I don't give a fuck about what offer you're pushing. I just care about sell something that the market actually wants. So I'm gonna list out a bunch of offers. I'm going to structure them for anyone who goes through the course. And then I'm going to line up the client acquisition infrastructure, fulfillment, sales, everything. And then people will just come in and fill whatever offer resonates with them the most. And then they're going to pick that one and run with the acquisition infrastructure, right? And then
Nice.
we're going to be the company that they go to when they actually want the actual thing built for them.
Nice.
So that's how I want to do it, right? Because right now it's like I'm not necessarily the one who got people in business, but I'm helping them scale their business. But I actually want to be the person who goes to the marketplace, the general, people, audience, and be like, hey, you want to start a business, start making, I don't know, 25K a month, 50K a month. Go through this course, learn everything, mindset, everything. And
Be
then
like Hormozy.
yeah, a little bit, yeah, but more on the
Smaller scale.
lower level. For him, he
Yeah.
helps $3 to $5 million business.
On a smaller scale. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
So that's more of a long term. But my next step, though, before I go to that, I want to have 10 to 15 partners where I actually get, not equity, but I want a rev share deal, and I scale your company to as a leverage consultant, just like what the model we've built with client acquisition at IO.
Yeah,
So,
I was gonna ask. Yeah, I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever thought of like buying agencies instead, like scaling them?
No, because I don't like to buy something that I haven't built. It's because the way that I build, it's like I build. I can't buy. I mean, I can buy a business, but it's not about the money for me. It's about I generally love the building phase. Like right now we're building this, done for you department, email stuff. We're building the system stuff. Like I want to build it with the right people, right? Because you can buy a business, but that does not mean the business is going to maintain, right?
Yeah.
And I want to build stuff that I see is needed, not just this is cash flowing business, let me buy it. No, I don't want it. But my next step is to help people transition into more of a leverage consulting model. So let's say like you, if you want to maybe, you scale your agency to 6 figures, multiple 6 figures a month, but you're like, hey, Serge, like I'd like to build a program and then just sell it to the e-com founders where I just solve their, organic UGC department. And I'll come in and be like, okay, cool. Let me build out everything. Let me help you structure your fulfillment, train your systems integrator, build out your whole fulfillment process.
Sick.
And I'll help you scale to, let's say, $500,000 a month. And then I take 20% of revenue. Right.
Sick.
But I'm gonna have like 10 clients like that, maybe past agency owners who've seen success, but who want to actually work less for making more to be, but still making more money, more profit. Then I want to pair up with people, to just help them be like a partner in their business, like 10 people a year, probably 24 months minimums. And then we go and scale and make a few millions. But yeah,
Good
cool,
stuff.
man. Yeah. All right, man. So thank you so much for having spent this, hour and however long we've been on this one. But yeah, man, again, I can't tell you enough how proud I am, for the success that you're seeing, and yeah, man, can't wait to make our
Appreciate,
next,
man.
6 figures
Yeah,
a month.
we'll catch up again somewhere in Spain or I don't know, somewhere in Europe. Hopefully soon. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Appreciate, man.
Cool.
Thanks a lot for everything.
Enjoy,
And
man.
yeah, we'll be in touch. Bye bye.
Yes, sir. Take care. Bye-bye.